It's party time!
Viva Piñata, filled with fun.
Filled with fun!
Don't be enjoying them. Viva Piñata, filled with fun.
Filled with fun!
Viva Piñata, don't be enjoying them.
Welcome to picturesque Piñata Island. In its many gardens, all manner of piñatas live, dance, and dream that one day they will be chosen to entertain at a party as only piñatas can. Well, most piñatas, that is.
Oh, fudge! Shake it, shake it, shake it like a party animal. Break it, break it, break it like a party animal. Shake it, shake it, shake it like a party animal. Break it, break it, break it, break it, break it, break it, break it. Viva Piñata, filled with fun.
Filled with fun!
Viva Piñata, don't be enjoying them. Viva Piñata, filled with fun. Viva Piñata, don't be enjoying them.
Games, Brains are banging life here. Cole and Damon doing a socially distanced flashback for you. Another one, we are on Viva Piñata, the 2006 life simulation game developed by Rare, the last great game Rare did. And well, no, tell a lie, because the sequel, Trouble in Paradise, is also great. So, although technically that's still Viva Piñata. And published by Microsoft Game Studios for the Xbox 360. So this was when Microsoft had purchased Rare, and before they forced Rare or told Rare to just do Kinect games. The game revolves around a player tending to a neglected garden in Piñata Island, in which different variations of piñatas based on animals must be bred while fending off disruptors interlopers. Microsoft wanted the game to become a key franchise for the platform and even developed a tie-in television show to accompany the series. It was released in November 2006, a Windows version, November 2007, and the game started the Viva Piñata series with a direct sequel and a portable version released in 2008. Viva Piñata was included in Rare's 2015 Rare Replay, a compilation of 30 games for the Xbox One. As always, likes, dislikes, favorite moments, scenes, bits of music. I think I'm confident in saying this. We both love this game, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is better, this or Trouble in Paradise?
You've got to go for the first one because it's the original one. It's the one that introduced us.
Now, I am agreeing with you for one reason, right? I think Trouble in Paradise is better overall because of the multiple islands and the wider variety of piñatas and stuff like that. However, when we will cover this more when we get to the flashback for it. Do you remember the QR or XR cards scanning to get certain piñatas in Trouble in Paradise? That is some next level bullshit.
Yep, exactly, yep.
So that's why the first one will always be better, because it didn't have that rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, likes. One of the reasons why I fell in love with Viva Piñata and why it holds a very special place in my heart still to this day is that I find it a relaxing game to play. I love games where I can sink hours into them without really doing much or feeling tension or feeling constrained by time or anything like that. That's what I love Viva Piñata for. That it's relaxing gameplay.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's no pressure. You're not being rushed. Oh, I've got to quickly do this before the day ends, or I've got to do this because of the fact that I've got time to do it in. You can just sit there, tend to your garden, your piñatas, and yeah, it's a fantastic game. I mean, the obvious one for me, the first one is it's so beautiful. It's colourful. I mean, the different styles of piñatas are beautiful, and it's just one of those games where you can just turn it on and go, wow. It's not like I don't know if you played it, Animal Crossing.
Of course.
It's not kind of the colourful wise. It's not like that, you know. I always remind me of that sort of style game.
Yeah. I agree with you saying. It made me go back to the childhood of Rare, where Rare's wonderful games of Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know, those lovely, bright, colourful worlds that they would create. Always things I loved Rare for, you know, and it was very much that as well. I agree. I find that bright, colourful, even if the graphics are simple, that vibrant colour is always 10 times more appealing to me than drab greys and stuff like that. As already said, this is a game you can sink hours and hours into. We're not talking 10 or 20 hours. We're talking 50 plus hours into this game alone, which, you know, is value for money.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I mentioned Animal Crossing there, but actually, the game actually, which actually it reminds me most of, is probably going to be Harvest Moon.
Oh,
If
of course,
you know,
yeah.
another game where you can obviously sink hours and hours into it. I mean, not achieve much into it, but you can still obviously do it. You know, and just the I love the fact that you can obviously build stuff. You know, you can obviously plant plants and I mean, obviously every game's got their dislikes. Obviously, we'll get to that in a minute. But I mean, just the fact that you can build and obviously I love my building games. You know.
I used to love the feeling when you've worked so hard to try and attract a specific piñata. It'd be wandering about outside the boundary of the garden for ages, and then you'll be able to attract it into your garden, which is the first stage of making it part of your home. And then you'd have to then obviously tame it. And then you also have the variety, other than a wide variety of piñatas, the variants, the color variants and things like that by feeding different things and having them sleep together, or what you call it, breed together. Which also had a mini game as well. And don't get me wrong, we'll get to the repetitive nature of that. But yeah, that wide variety and the challenge that came with trying to get every piñata that's in the scrapbook was something I loved. And the fact it was achievement related as well encouraged you to do even more, you know? Yeah, very, very, very positive things to say. But as you said already, not infallible. Nothing's perfect.
No, of course not.
Okay.
I can't remember the names of the creatures, but obviously you also had your bad piñatas, the one who come to your land and try and kill them. They call us like red something.
Oh, I know what you mean. I can't quite remember it either. There were bad piñatas and there was the villains as well.
Yeah.
Okay, auto-saving. God, that is disruptive as fuck in that game. It would actually literally interrupt gameplay. Auto-saving, while appreciated in most games, was actually a pain in the arse on Viva Piñata.
Yep, definitely.
Those initial few hours, the first couple of hours of Viva Piñata, I would urge anyone to force themselves way through it. Because the initial first part would be a couple of hours. Well, all you've got, I can't remember the call, but they're the worm ones. The most common one, the worm one. Well, that's
Slivers.
What?
Slivers, I think they're called.
Okay, them. And you can't do much at all. You might get bored, basically, and think, well, there's fuck all going on. Get through that. You've got to get through those first couple of hours to really enjoy Viva Piñata, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like most games, really. I mean, if you point at any sort of like your Final Fantasy games, the first hour, so you're like, what the hell's going on here? You know? I mean, you got to give it time to obviously to get into it a bit, you know. But I mean, my first dislike is the fact that your bit of land is limited. I would have loved the fact that you can build a massive land,
extend it.
You know, extend it. Yeah, I mean, you're limited to I think it's like a 32 square meter, or maybe it's bigger than that. But yeah, I mean, again,
you want an open world Viva Piñata.
Yeah, I mean, I keep bringing up other games. Again, it reminds me of Harvest Moon, with the fact that you can only buy there's like hundreds of different farm animals, but they give you a choice of 5, and that's it. The entire, you know, it's like why? Why don't you give you a choice of every single animal in the world to buy from? You know, what's the point of having a farm game and doing that? You know, so that's what I mean, I know it's a great game, but that is really, really annoying.
I agree. Limitations and stuff like that. And what would be interesting, because it leads into my next one, is what they could do now. So one of the things I dislike is that the franchise is basically dead now. We haven't had a Viva Piñata game since, 2008? So we're now 12 years ago since a Viva Piñata game, a new one. So the franchise appears to be dead, which is a shame considering Xbox One, PS4 and all that. And it does make you go, well, wonder what you could do now. Could you go larger? Could you have a bit more of a sandbox, open world kind of thing, where you do have a bigger location and things like that, you know? So yeah, it's a bit shame. I think it's a shame.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I mean, because there's so many things they could do with that game. So many.
Yeah, and they did well with it already. Right, my last dislike is a bit of a one. So Rare Replay. Do you know what Rare Replay is?
No.
So as I said at the start, it was a collection that was released on the Xbox One in 2015 that housed a large amount of rare games. So all in one. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Don't get me wrong; it missed a lot of them, of stuff. There was no GoldenEye, there was no Donkey Kong, but it housed a hell of a lot, and it was a good collection for those who'd never really played a lot of Rare stuff. The Banjo-Kazooie games were on there, Conker's on there, both Viva Piñatas, Perfect Darks, and more. Plus earlier games as well. However, what always bugged me, and it bugs me still, is that the versions of Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and others, right? And Viva Piñata specifically, they weren't remade, if that makes sense. They were basically Xbox 360 versions added in. But not just ported over, they were the Xbox 360 versions. So if you'd already 100% completed the games, all achievements and everything like that, you've already done it. There were no new achievements to unlock for those games. So because of that, there was less impetus, less desire to go and play them again, because I've already done everything I can in those games. Do you see what I mean? Like, had there been a fresh new list of achievements, I probably would have been like, sweet, I'm going to give it a couple of years when it's been long enough, and then I'm going to go play it again. And I'm going to work my way through the game again. But that isn't the case. And no, people can say, well, you could play the game anyway. And it's like, yeah, of course I could. But I work off achievements. Disappointing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's with quite a lot of games now. I would love the fact. I mean, obviously, I've not played on Xbox for quite a while now, but I would love the fact that they had that option where you could
wipe.
If you complete the game and just wipe the game, and then go through it again for the achievements. Now, obviously, you don't need achievements to play games. Obviously not.
Of course.
But it always gives you that.
It's a goal.
Boost.
It's got a goal.
A goal, exactly. It gives you a boost. Oh, sweet! I got that achievement. You know, or I killed 10,000 zombies or whatever. You know, to get an achievement. It makes you bloody feel proud of yourself. You know.
It extends the game beyond its. It extends the game beyond its end screen, beyond its credits, and that's a very important thing for me. You know. Yes, that's all my dislikes. You got any more?
I've got one more, but again, I've not played the game in quite a while, so I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that it limited the amount of piñatas you could have in one garden.
Yep, absolutely.
That used to really, really wind me up, because I would love to have bloody 1,000 piñatas in your garden.
I think it's more the limitations of the console.
Well, yeah, obviously, you probably couldn't handle those amount of people on your screen, you know. But I mean, I'm a PC at the moment. I'm going through PC games, you know, and I'm playing games where you're on Total War, where there's like 10,000 soldiers fighting each other on the screen. That's the sort of game I want nowadays.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that.
So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, there's not a lot really to dislike about the game.
No, I think we've covered it. Favorite moments, scenes, bits of music. Then anything jump out off the top of your head?
I suppose. I mean, it's not very specific, but just the fact that you're finally getting the piñata you've been trying to get for ages, I suppose. Yeah. You know, there's one where you might have to grow like 10 plants and then feed it to a piñata and then kill it or something like that. You know, it was always a good achievement, the fact that you finally got it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The feeling of when you coax that rare piñata that you've been working on for ages into your garden, and then you're able to turn it colour as well from its black and white, is probably one of the best feelings in the game. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And my other one is just the music in general. Viva Piñata, tying into what I started with the music. One of my favorite things about Viva Piñata when I think of it is its music. If I'm sitting here and I'm working and I'm doing site-related stuff, I will often put Viva Piñata music on in the background because it's very subtle, very soft, and very relaxing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There you go. There's a flashback for Viva Piñata. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on GBHBL.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?